In the city of Vardhaman, there was a highly talented merchant, and the king of that city noticed his ability. He appointed him as an administrator of the country. He had kept the common man satisfied with his tactful ways. The king was also quite impressed. After a few days, the merchant arranged for his daughter's marriage. He planned a large feast for this occasion. He invited everyone from the royal family in this celebration. Throughout the meal, he honored everyone and presented ornaments and gifts to each one of the guests. A royal family worker who used to sweep the palace also attended the feast, but sat on a chair reserved for the royal family members, and he sat on it by mistake. When the merchant saw this,
"Are you even worthy to sit on the chair of this royal family? Get lost from here, you idiot!"
he grabbed the servant's neck and hurled him out of the feast. The servant was humiliated and decided to give the merchant a lesson. The same servant was sweeping the king's chamber while he noticed that the king was almost asleep.
How dare this merchant misbehave with the queen?
Hearing this, the king jumped out of his bed and asked the servant,
"Hey, you servant, whatever you are saying, is it true? Have you seen the merchant misbehaving with the queen?"
The servant immediately grabbed the king's feet and said,
Forgive me, sir. I gambled all night and could not sleep. That's why I am muttering something in my sleep.
The king said nothing, but the seed of the suspicion had already been planted. The king stopped the nobles from wandering near the merchant's palace and limited his power as of the day. The merchant was stopped by the gatekeepers the next day. The trader was taken aback when he saw this. The servant standing nearby then snickered and said,
Hey, gatekeepers, don't you know who is he? He is a very influential person and can get you thrown out as he did at his dinner with me, so be careful. Be careful about this.
On hearing this, the merchant understood the whole matter. After a few days, he invited the servant to his house, welcomed him, and gave him gifts. He then humbly apologized for the feast day, and he said,
"Dear son, I made a mistake. Forgive me whatever wrong I did to you. I am sorry."
The servant was very happy. He said,
Not only did you apologize to me, but you also did so much to me. Don't you worry, I will get back your lost honor from the king.
While the servant was sweeping the king's room, he saw that the king was almost asleep. He started muttering again.
Oh my god, our king is such a fool that he eats cucumber in the bathroom?
Hearing this, the king was filled with anger.
"You foolish servant, how dare you speak like that? If you were not the servant of my room, then you would have been fired from your job."
The servant again fell at his feet and apologized to the king, vowed never to gamble again. Then the king thought,
When he can speak wrong about me like this, he must have spoken wrong about the trader too, because of which I have punished him for no reason.
The very next day, the king called the merchant to the palace and gave his lost prestige with full respect.
Madhur, a farmer and his wife, lived in a village called Vishnupur. Madhur was a promising and diligent young man. He used to work in his fields all hours of the day, but he never had good yields in his crops. He was frustrated. On a day like this,
What happened to you? Why are you so depressed?
Nothing. Go about your business.
after saying this, Madhur and his wife began working in the fields. After returning home, they eat and both fall asleep. God appears in his wife's dream that night.
You both visit my temple tomorrow in the morning.
When Madhur's wife wakes up in the morning, she tells him about her dream. Then both of them head towards the temple. On their way, they encountered a huge dense forest. They cross the forest and reach temple. There, a priest resides in the temple. He worships and presents Madhur with a basket filled with fruits.
Take this. If you use this basket, all of your woes will vanish. But remember, you can only use it once a day.
Sir, I have a question. May I? How can this basket give us things? Because nothing makes sense to me.
My child, you can ask for anything from this miraculous basket, but try not to ask for too much.
I am grateful, priest.
When they both get home, his wife eats the fruits in the basket and empties it. They both sit in front of it while keeping the basket before them. Then, From the basket, they ask for a grain sack. With a flash of bright light, a sack of grain appears out of nowhere, making Madhur and his wife very delighted. Both of them then go to the field to plant grains, using just one bag. And when they return home, they're able to enjoy a satisfying meal. Both of them worshipped God every day and started asking for useful things from that basket. They worked happily in their fields, and this time their crops were good and God was with them. One day, due to heavy rains in the village, there was flood. In that flood, people's houses and everything inside that house got spoiled. Nobody could help the villagers. Madhur and his wife started thinking,
Honey, the storm has caused our community to be flooded with water, and the poor have really suffered. They don't even have anything to eat. I feel so horrible for these people.
Yes, I have a similar thought that we really need to help the villagers.
But honey, what can we do?
We can ask the basket for food for 100 of people, and if successful, we will share it with everyone.
Yes, this is a wise decision.
Madhur immediately offers a prayer to God and humbly requests food from the basket for 100 people. Just then, a bright light appears, and enough food for 100 people appear in front of them. This makes Madhur and his wife happy. They distribute all this food among the people. Similarly, every day, Madhur and his wife started helping people. Now, even the ruined houses were being rebuilt. Now that people were getting food, they calmed down and they started thinking about the future. The villagers gave a lot of blessings to Madhur and his wife. Madhur did a lot of help for the people of the village. Madhur adopted a girl whose parents were swept away in the flood. Madhur and his wife started loving her like their own child. The villagers were very happy seeing this, and now they all lived happily ever after. So friends, we get a lesson from this story that we should always help the needy in times of crisis, because good deeds have good results.
A farmer, David, lived in a village called Shiprock. He used to serve his land with dedication. He, along with his wife, used to work hard in their field. He was known as father in entire village. Mother Nature was also happy with her. His fields used to yield good crops. Villagers used to respect him a lot.
Father is such a good person, but God is not fair because he has not blessed him with a child, whereas some people have lots of children. What a justice of God!
You remain sad because you don't have any children, isn't it? Do you know what I think?
What do you think?
It is possible that Mother Nature chose us to serve her, because if we have children, we will pay less attention to her. That is why we don't have kids. Now we will look after our field just like our children.
Phoebe and father go to sleep after having dinner. The next day, they plow their field properly. This goes on for many days. Both husband and wife didn't have kids. One fine day, Phoebe finds that she is pregnant. Her health improved day by day, but she did not tell this to her husband. She used to stay happy the whole day, which is why her husband started to like her. One fine day. What happened, Phoebe? You are getting fat day by day. What's the matter?
It's nothing. I mean,
Oh, come on.
you are going to be a father, and that's why my complexion has improved and I'm feeling better.
What? Are you telling the truth?
Yes, that's true. I want to eat the vegetable made of banana flour. Will you bring the flour for me?
Of course, why not? While coming back from the fields tomorrow, I will get the flowers of banana.
Yes, it's fine.
Father looks for banana flour in the village next day, but he did not find it. Now, he plans to go to the forest and goes there, but he could not find that flour there as well. He was walking in the forest and right then, he saw an amazing thing in front of him. He saw that a hen is walking with a deer and there is a bird also. How is this possible? A hen and a bird with a deer? Father was staring at this scene when the deer came to him and started talking.
Hey, what are you staring at? What has happened to you?
Nothing. I am surprised seeing different creatures with you.
Farmer friend, what brings you here?
I am looking for a banana tree. I couldn't find them in the field and so I thought I might get it here in the forest, Uncle dear.
Don't call me your uncle. I'm like your son-in-law.
Okay, fine. But I don't have a daughter. Then how can you be my son-in-law?
Hey father, not now. But you are going to be a father in 4-5 months.
Yes, but how did you know?
I know everything. If you have a girl child, you will give her to me. And if it is a boy, you can keep him. If you agree to this condition, I can get you the flower.
It's okay, you can get me the flower. Now father didn't have an option. He said yes to the deer. Now the deer takes him deep into the forest and gets banana flower in a bag to hand over to him. Father brings the bag home and prays silently to have a boy. Few months pass and Phoebe gives birth to a beautiful girl. The deer comes to know about this, and so, one fine day the deer came to their door.
You had a daughter, and as per your promise, you will have to give this child to me. I have come today to take her.
Hey dear, please let me spend some time with my daughter. I have had a child after such a long time, and you are talking about taking her away with you. Take her with you when she grows up.
Okay, but after she grows up, I will be the one to take her.
Father gets relaxed and lives happily with his daughter. Her daughter Milane is grown up now. He educated her. Then after a long time, the same deer comes back to their house. But this time also, father makes an excuse after seeing the deer.
Father-in-law, now no more excuses. You will have to give me your daughter.
Okay, I will give you. But how can I give you like this? You come day after tomorrow. I will call the priest and marry my daughter to you. Then you can take her with you. Deer goes away happily to the forest. Then an idea comes in father's mind. He says to Phoebe, I am planning to send Milane to her grandmother's house. The deer will not come to know about her, and our Milane will stay with us.
It looks fine. We will do this way. You take her to her grandmother's house.
The other day, father takes his daughter and starts early in the morning. They have to cross a dense forest on the way. Both of them got tired by walking and they sit in some place. Right then, Milane saw a beautiful garden and she says to her father,
Daddy, can I go and pluck some beautiful flowers from the garden?
Father never refused his daughter anything. Okay, you can go, but come back soon after plucking the flower.
Yes, Daddy, I will come back soon.
Now Milane gets busy plucking flowers and enters deep into the garden gradually. She sees a cave there. She enters the cave. She sees a deer inside the cave. Now she starts walking after the deer. This was deer's trap. Now Milane comes to a palace. Meanwhile, father started looking for his daughter. Time passed, but he could not find her anywhere. Now he became anxious. Deer was the prime minister and the king of that kingdom was Maddox. His people were quite less in number because of the curse of a witch. All the people there became other living creatures. The hen was Deer's minister and the bird was his maid. The Deer's palace was very beautiful. Now Milane came to that palace with Deer.
Come, let me show you an amazing thing.
Now what amazing thing is left for me to see?
The deer takes off his clothes and suddenly he turns into a handsome man. Milane looks at him surprised.
You are a human being like us.
We are just like you. The only difference is that we have 4 legs and you have 2 legs.
But when you are a human being, why do you disguise like a deer then?
There is a witch in our village. She converted us into creatures. So until she is alive, we will remain like this.
Now Milane started living with that deer in that palace. Many days passed. One day the deer had to go far away for a long time and Milane was to stay alone in the house. One fine day, someone knocked at the door of their palace. Milane thought it must be the deer and she opened the door. She saw that an old lady has come with a girl.
Who are you and why have you come here? I am Deer's aunt and this is my daughter.
Now the old lady and the girl started living in the house. Milane took good care of them. But there was a peculiar thing about the girl and the old lady. When Milane slept, they secretly ate food. This goes on for some days. One night, Milane feels thirsty and she comes out of her room to drink water. When she enters the kitchen, she sees that the old lady is sitting with a big plate in front of her. There is rice and pieces of meat on it, and she's eating that as if she has been hungry for days. Seeing all this, Milane gets frightened.
We will roast and fry this girl tomorrow and eat her up. Yes, tomorrow we will have a good hospitality.
Milane listens to them and runs away to her room.
This old aunt is not dear's aunt. She is the witch who had cursed, who is going to eat me up. Now what should I do?
The next day, that old lady has to go out for some work. She leaves the small girl in the house.
Keep an eye on this girl. Make sure she doesn't run away. Remember, we have to fry and eat her. Yes, I know.
Milane listens to them and drops her veil outside. Milane sends that girl to bring that veil back. As soon as the girl goes out of the palace, Milane closes the doors and windows of the palace. She goes to the kitchen and checks the witch's bag. She finds lot of herbs, bomb, and some dolls in that bag. She gets frightened after seeing them. After some time, the witch returns and eats that girl up in anger. Milane sees all this from her terrace. She gets frightened and drops the bomb on the witch that she had found in the witch's bag. There is a big explosion and the witch dies. Now, Milane closes herself in a room and does not come out for 3-4 days. After few days, someone knocks the door.
Who is it?
Hey, this is your father, child.
Whosoever you are, you cannot fool me.
Hey child, this is me. You were lost in the garden. I came here looking for you. Milane opens the door hesitatingly and seeing her father hugs him and starts crying. Her father takes her back home. After the death of the witch, the entire kingdom gets free from the curse and everyone comes back in human form like before.
This is the story of Henry.
Mom, I'm going to Long Island today.
All of a sudden?
Oh, tomorrow is Robert's birthday and he has invited me to his party.
Alright, but don't you have to go to work?
Today is Saturday. I will go to Long Island directly from the office.
But son, by the time you reach there, it will be very late.
Oh, come on, Mom. Do you think that I am still a baby? Don't you worry. I will reach there safely.
Okay, but drive safely.
Okay, Mom.
Right after his office, Henry got on his bike. The journey was a long one. He had headphones while driving. It was almost 10:30 at night. Henry was now driving on a lonely highway and suddenly, right in front of his bike, a beautiful girl started asking for lift. Seeing the girl, Henry stopped. Hey, can you give me a lift? My car broke down. Are you going to Long Island?
Yes, miss. But you are all alone here.
Actually, my home is in Long Island and my college is in Austin. I come to Long Island every weekend. Today, my car broke down. Can you drop me near my house if you don't mind?
Oh, sure. Why not?
That girl sat on Henry's bike and they both set out towards Long Island.
You said you study at the University of Austin?
Yes, University of Austin.
Oh, that's great. I even passed out of the same university.
Really? Which stream?
Arts.
What a coincidence! Even I am doing arts. Oh, before that, can you tell me where do you stay?
I'm based in Texas.
Me too.
Is it so? How can this happen? Can you tell me where you stay in Long Island?
Near Montauk Point Lighthouse.
Strange. I am even going there as well.
And just like that, that beautiful girl and Henry kept talking for hours.
Here, we have reached Montauk Point Lighthouse.
Oh, just take a right turn. Henry took the directions given by the girl and reached near a house.
This is my friend's Robert's villa. Where do you stay?
The moment Henry turned around, he found that the girl had disappeared. Henry was stupefied. He got down from his bike and started searching for that girl. He found that the girl was going inside Robert's villa. Henry ran behind her, but the moment Henry tapped on her shoulder, the girl's neck twisted and now she was looking at him and changed into a witch. Since that day, Henry has been in a psychiatric ward. Even to this day, he can see her everywhere.